Did you know that in North Korea, the year isn't 2024? That's right, they use a completely different calendar called the Juki calendar. It starts from the birth year of their first leader, Kim Il-sung, which was 1912. So, right now, they're just over 110 years into their calendar. It's a fascinating detail that shows just how unique the country is. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into some of the most surprising and lesser-known facts about North Korea. Now, this is a country that's often in the headlines. But there's a lot about daily life and culture that you might not know. We're going to explore some intriguing aspects, from their unique calendar to their own special time zone. So, stick around, because you're about to learn some things that might just change your perspective. Let's start with something many of us take for granted: time itself. For a few years, North Korea had its very own time zone, called Pyongyang time. In 2015, they set their clocks back by 30 minutes to break from what they called wicked Japanese imperialists' time, which was a remnant of Japan's rule over Korea. So, they were 30 minutes behind South Korea and Japan. It was a symbolic move, but can you imagine the confusion for anyone dealing with both Koreas? They eventually switched back in 2018 to align with South Korea as a gesture of goodwill. It's a small change, but it speaks volumes about the political climate. Now, let's talk about something a little more fun: entertainment. While the rest of the world is obsessed with Hollywood, North Korea has its own massive film industry. We're talking huge film studios just outside Pyongyang. The stories are often very patriotic and centered on national heroes and revolutionary tales. It's like their version of a superhero movie. But the heroes are real historical figures, or at least portrayed as such, too. They even have their own international film festival, the Pyongyang International Film Festival. It's a rare chance for some foreign films to be shown in the country, although they're very carefully selected. And what about fashion? You might think everyone wears the same thing. There are state-approved hairstyles. For women, there's a list of acceptable styles. And for men, it's generally short and neat. But within those rules, people do find ways to express themselves. You'll see different clothing trends in Pyongyang, especially among the younger, more affluent residents. It's a subtle thing, but it shows that personal style finds a way to exist everywhere. Here's a fact that might surprise sports fans. North Korea has a massive stadium in Pyongyang called the Rungredo 1st of May Stadium. It's one of the largest stadiums in the world by seating capacity, holding around 150,000 people. That's bigger than almost any stadium in the US or Europe. It's primarily used for the Arang Mas Games, an incredible spectacle of gymnastics and synchronized performances involving tens of thousands of participants. The visuals are absolutely breathtaking, with performers creating giant, intricate images with colored cards. It's a display of discipline and coordination on a scale that's hard to even imagine. Let's move on to food. The national dish is Pyongyang cold noodles, or naengmyeon. It's a dish of chewy, buckwheat noodles served in a tangy ice-cold broth, often topped with slices of meat, vegetables, and a boiled egg. It's incredibly popular, especially during the summer. In fact, it became a symbol of peace during the inter-Korean summits, with the leaders of both North and South Korea sharing the dish. There are even famous Pyongyang-style noodle restaurants in South Korea, run by families who came from the North. Food really does have a way of connecting people. Another interesting cultural aspect is the emphasis on collective achievement. While many societies praise individual success, in North Korea, the group is what matters most. This is reflected in their art, their music, and their daily life. Thing about those mass games again, it's not about one-star gymnast, but about thousands of people moving as one perfect unit. This collective spirit is a cornerstone of their national identity. And it's a big cultural difference from the individualism that's common in many other parts of the world. Now for something you might not expect. Traffic ladies. In Pyongyang, instead of traffic lights at every intersection, you'll often see sharply dressed female traffic officers directing cars. They're famous for their crisp blue uniforms, white gloves, and precise, almost robotic movements. They are seen as a symbol of the city's order and discipline and are chosen for their height and appearance. It's a very unique and iconic part of the cityscape in Pyongyang, and something you'd rarely see anywhere else in the world. Have you ever heard of North Korea's own computer operating system? It's called Red Star OS. It's a Linux-based system designed to look a lot like Apple's Mac OS, but it's heavily modified for government control. It has its own web browser, word processor, and even some games. The system includes features that track and watermark files, so the government can see how documents and media are being shared. It's a fascinating, if a bit chilling, example of how technology can be tailored to fit a specific national ideology. Let's talk about education. Literacy in North Korea is surprisingly high, with the state providing free, compulsory education for 12 years. The curriculum is, of course, heavily focused on the country's leaders and political ideology. Students spend a significant amount of time learning about the history of the Kim family and the principles of Jukki. While the quality and focus of the education are very different from what we might be used to, the emphasis on universal literacy is a key national policy. Here's a lighter fact. Beer is a big deal in North Korea. There are several local breweries, and the Taedonggang beer is probably the most famous. It was actually created after the government bought an entire defunct British brewery, shipped it piece by piece to Pyongyang, and reassembled it. They produce several different types of beer, and there are beer halls in the capital where people can go to relax. It's a small slice of normal life that shows people everywhere enjoy a cold drink after a long day. One more surprising thing is the rise of mobile phones. While they don't have access to the global internet, a growing number of North Koreans, especially in urban areas, own a smartphone. They use it to connect to a domestic intranet, which allows them to read state news, access educational materials, and communicate with each other. It's a closed-off network. But the spread of mobile technology is still changing the way people interact and access information within the country's borders. So, from a unique calendar and time zone to their own operating system and massive stadiums, North Korea is full of surprises. It's a country of immense complexity, and while we often only see one side of it in the news, there's a whole world of culture, tradition, and daily life that's fascinating to explore. Learning about these things helps us build a more nuanced picture of a place that most of us will never get to see. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you found these facts as interesting as I did. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more deep dives into fascinating topics from around the world. And let me know in the comments which facts surprised you the most. See you in the next one.